Yes, so hi, this is Nathaniel Manning, and after going to church today, the 6th of May 2023, after deciding to sit in church one more time, previously I was invited by a good friend and my wife, so I decided to take my mom and my to church this morning. It's now at the time of this recording, it's 10 minutes after 4 p.m. local time, of course. And so we're just there and say we want to talk about some things, right? And I hope this video will not be too long. So here are the points that I'll be discussing in this recording. Why are we here? What is a program? Who is programming you? Why we believe? Do you fear death and hell? When belief is not enough? And where to go from here? I've made these points as a way to guide my thoughts into what I'm trying to express today. So let us start with the first question. Why are we here? First of all, what do I mean by that question? Why are we here in this situation where we have different countries, different nations, different um, peoples, different cultures, different societies? Why are we here? That's a very broad question. There are many reasons why we're here. But I'm going to try to bring it down to make it a little bit more specific. Why are we here in a situation where we, first of all, find ourselves having to believe in things, to accept things? Well, this is my theory. We may agree or disagree. I think that we are here because, firstly, we are human beings and we don't know everything. We don't know when we'll die. We don't know what lies in the future. We don't know when we're even going to be born. We don't know what tomorrow brings, as they normally say. So we are here as we are because it is already set in motion to be like that. Meaning that because of the limitations that we have as the human beings, we are in a situation where we have to believe. So again, I'm being more specific to the question that I'm asking when I say why are we here? Why are we here in a situation where we have to believe? And why am I even doing this video recording? Well, I was having a discussion with one of my colleagues at work, and out of that discussion, it is constantly being impressed upon me to do a recording that my family, both my my blood family and my church family, can have an understanding of what I believe in, why I no longer accept certain things, as it relates to religion and God and the Bible, right? So that's one of the reasons I'm doing this recording. So we are here because we are in a situation where we are believing, and we're believing because we don't know everything. We don't know everything because we can't know everything. And again, we can't know everything because we have limitations in what we can perceive, in what we can interpret, and what we can understand. There are some limitations to all of that. So, in other words, we are finite beings. Finite beings can't contain all the knowledge there is. Now, still doesn't quite answer the question, why are we here in a situation where we are believing? We are believing because we have no substantial evidence to show otherwise. So in other words, when we say we believe, it's because there is absence of some facts, some evidence to the thing that we believe in. The the idea that you believe in something that you have evidence for is utterly ridiculous. So if I say I believe that I have a phone in my hand and we all have accepted this to be a phone, then it would be utterly ridiculous of me to say this. I believe that this is a phone, unless there's something wrong with my mind and I'm having issues comprehending objects. Then I could say maybe I'm not sure if this is a phone. But if my cognition is still intact, I would not say I believe that this is a phone. I would say this is a phone. So I no longer need to believe. Belief will be out the door there. So when we say we believe in something or someone, it's because there is an absence of knowledge somewhere. And that is why I would say to people, look, belief is not knowledge. It's accepting something without evidence. And so we are here because we don't know truly everything about even what we believe. And so we believe, and that is why faith comes into play. Faith comes into play because we are believing in concepts in a system of thought that goes beyond our capacity to rationalize to some degree. And so we have decided to accept it without full evidence. So that's why we are here. What is a program? Now, why am I asking this question? What is the relevance of this question? Now, before I tell you why I'm asking this question, let me just tell you what a program is. The computer definition, a program is a set of instructions that solves a problem. And given the field that I am in, I have had to write many programs. So I give the computer a series of instructions and it solves the problem for me. So again, a program is a set of instructions that solves a problem. And so if I want to solve a particular problem, I have to give the computer a series of instructions that after carrying out those instructions for me, if I order instructions in a logical sense, it will execute and it will complete and solve the problem for me. What is the relevance of asking that question? The truth is, when we believe in something so much so that it directs our thoughts, our behavior, and our entire lives, then we have, by virtue of that belief, been programmed. Now, the reason I ask that question is because a lot of us don't realize that when we believe in things, whatever the thing is, we are programming, we are being programmed. We can decide if we want to accept that belief or if we want to reject it. And in that sense, we are taking the wheel and taking control over what we believe. And so when we believe we're programming or we're being programmed, we can either be programming ourselves or we're being programmed to accept this system of belief. And that is important to understand why some people will have a difficulty even watching this video because they don't want to hear this idea that they can be programmed. We all can be programmed. The thing is whether you want to program yourself or you want someone or some system to program you. And it comes back to beliefs because again, we don't know everything there is to know in this world. And because of that, we invariably have to believe some things. So the question then should be, why do I believe what I believe? And what do I actually believe, right? So I've talked about why are we here? What is a program? And I'm saying that if we don't take thought about our beliefs, whether we want to believe it or not, whether we want to accept it or not, the fact is we are being programmed. And so we have to bear that in mind as I ask the next question. Who is programming you? Who is programming you? Now, and people sing it in a song, right? Nobody can program them. Nobody wants to feel as though they are being programmed because you want to feel like you have full autonomy over your life. We all want to feel that we have that full control over our lives. The truth is, we don't have control unless we take control. So let me say that one more time. We don't have control unless we take control. So if I born in a system that is bombarding me with a culture or shaping me into societal norms, I will, without a doubt, become a part of that system. I will be doing the same thing that culture does, and that societal norm will be a part of me, even without a thought. We're born growing up in Jamaica speaking two languages, English and Patois. Now, if I didn't want to speak Patois or English, obviously, obviously I'd have to go to a different country. I would have to make a conscious decision, even if at a young age, if I realize I don't like these languages or I want to learn other languages, I would have had to make a conscious decision to go somewhere else to learn a different language. And so when I say who is programming you, what I'm saying is that what system of beliefs have you adopted? What system of thought have you made your own, even without giving it thought? We have all done it. For example, as I said, I'm coming from church, obviously, and gearing towards religion topic that I want my family, both at church and at home, to understand that look, Nathaniel is no longer religious. He has no strong desire to stay in that dimension anymore. He's still spiritual. He still believes there's a creator, but he's not interested in the ideologies that religion teaches and preaches and encourages people to do because he's reprogramming himself to think and to question his beliefs. And so, who is programming you is a question you need to answer when you find yourself going through the motion every Sunday or every Saturday. Every Saturday you come and you sing your songs and nothing is wrong with going and you have your rituals as they would call it. You know, your ceremonial rituals where you sing the songs and you give thanksgiving praises and ceremony is preached and you go back home, you repeat the same thing the next Saturday or whatever time or Sunday or whichever day in the week. But if you are not paying attention to the fact that you didn't actually fully consciously make this decision, it was almost as if it was given to you because you're born in our country, right? If you're not a Jamaican, you're watching this, you're born in a whichever country accepting that religious you or that system. Some people born a PMP era, so them say them a PMP. Some people born a JP era, and they say them a JP. Some people born a PMP era. Them say, yo, I don't want to do PMP, we prefer JP. Some born people born a JP era. Them say them don't want nothing to do JP, they want the PMP. Some people don't care. But none of them. The point here is that the societal norms help to shape who we are and how we behave and how we interact with each other. And it plays a very critical part in how we see the world and how we see others in the world. And so if you're not cognizant, if you're not aware of who's programming you, you will find yourself in a situation where somebody like me who is just questioning the systems and ideologies that we have been given from childhood and saying, look, you know, some things are right, some things not right. So you see somebody like me as a troublemaker, you know, some people like to say, devil possessed, and you know, you name it. You never truly did love God, you never truly know God, whatever things come out, you know. All of them things will come out because you know really question what you don't believe, right? You think that you know everything. You think that you have all the information, and you think that that is it. There is nothing else to know, and there is nothing to question. So check and see if it is that you're the actual person behind the beliefs, or is that or is it a situation where the beliefs that you have they pass them to you through your grandmother, or your grandfather, or your mother, whoever it is that were before you. Right? Those things are very important to understand. Because what I'm trying to get at here is that a lot of times we get into squabbles and arguments over beliefs that were not originally ours in the first place. We born come see it, and enough whoever dead left them. Enough of them believe so we have we born come see it. We see countless people going to church, countless people are dead in that church, and the beliefs still remain. We pass on to generation. I was just coming from church, I keep on repeating myself. And I realize why some religion continue because of the children. So the children grow up out in the child segment of the churches program today. They were a lady was up there whispering in the youngsters' ears, telling them what to say to the congregation regarding God and stuff. So she's grooming him, she's training him to behave a certain way, to have certain principles as it relates to the Bible and religion. And stuff like that. And nothing is wrong with training people. But the danger is when you think that your training supersedes that of everybody else's. So you are here in this camp and you are thinking that your training is above all the training that exists. That is really is a crucial mistake because again, you are in this coin, or you are in this little plot of land in the earth, and you don't know everything that is going on elsewhere that is beyond your sight and beyond your experience. So we have to be careful though when we train people. We have to train them for the real world, make them must look, and everybody have to believe where you believe here. Show them love, show them respect, say me. Don't condemn them. I realize this, not everybody do it, but some persons they would like the it's like some people will believe what they believe gone to bed. They will look by and tell you straight up, say, yo, you never truly know that. Yeah, man, let me tell you that. I, maybe some of us never truly know that. That's why someone walk out and quote scriptures and then quote energy, write books and go on and all type of things. You never truly know that. Or some persons in a different church talk with other persons in different church. And when them says, oh, you're doing that wrong church in the first place, but they tell you, say, Seventh Adventist churches are called. And so you see that the mindset is that they think that they know everything that there is to know about this concept. But I have to move on because I don't want this video to be too long. Why we believe. So why are we here? Why we believe? I alluded to it earlier. But we still need to talk about it. So I'm going a little bit deeper. Why do you believe in what you believe? Specifically, why do you believe in God? Specifically, why do you believe in the God, the Bible, above all the other gods? And you'll notice that some of the things I'm saying there overlapping and intertwining with each other because I'm trying to make a simple point. When I was in the church, I was searching for truth. Truth, yeah. I recognize that there were many denominations. I recognize that there were many churches. And I wanted to find the true church because if there's a God and he's coming back for his people, as they would say, I would want to be a part of the right set of people. And so I believed for many years that the Seventh-day Adventist Church was a true church. So my reason for believing then was, and is still today, even though I no longer believe, is that I want to find out the truth about why we are here, where we are going, where we came from. And so I was head over heels with the view that the Seventh-day Adventist message, the three angels message, was the best thing since sliced bread. And so I was believing because I wanted to find the truth and I thought I found the truth. I was also believing because if I did not believe, there is a possibility that I would go to hell, which I'll be going to shortly. The thing is, you believe because some of us believe. Here's the truth. Some of us believe because I grew up in a church, you know. I see my mother come go to church, I see my father, grandmother, so if you do. So mama believe because you must say, yo, then if you don't believe in a God, man, you're devil, man. There's a God. Believe in him and God. Simple as that. So people believe because them friends go to church. Them want to be a part of the friendship. They want friendship to continue. You see them partner with the church. They want to continue the relationships in the church. None of those bases are solid enough, in my opinion. But there are others who believe because it's a safety net in the sense that just in case things are, if even if them went in a little doubt, just in case. See, Bible said in Revelation, say, he that is filthy still making the filthy, he that is righteous making the righteous. They want to make sure, say, they're not helpful. Fire will burn, according to Revelation, and them don't want to be a part of it. And so what them do is make sure so them put on an insurance, which is what I think they made a teach or made a preach or maybe in a church. You know, it's like a life insurance policy you have to put for a life. So when you're dead, you're going to heaven, you have strong chances, so strong chance of going to heaven about health. You know, church, you sing a song, you read the Bible, you check for the good Bible, you live for the people, and you worship God. And, you fall back here and there, but you God forgive you. So if there's a heaven, there's a hell. If you do all of these things, the probability of going to heaven might be a little bit higher than to go to hell. And so leads us to the next question. So some will believe for all different type of reasons, which is just some of I just listed down very few of them are, but there are many other reasons why people believe. But it leads us to the next question, which is, do you fear death and hell? Now, if you can, let me ask the question one more time. Do you fear death and hell? Talking to my family at home, talking to family at church, and whoever it is that's watching this, who's Christian or who's religious, no matter which religion you're part of. This is broad enough to deal with every religion. Do you fear death and hell? Right? You fear death and hell. Why? Why do you fear death and hell? Is the fear of death and hell something that you have control over? If not, why fear it? No, I might sound a little bit snobbish or for want of a better word, insensitive when asking the question. But I remember when I feared both. I remember when I feared death. I remember when I feared hell. And what I realized is that my motive for doing the godly things and to go to church, the motive was to escape hell, escape the final death, which by the Christian's definition is a lake of fire. So my fear of death and hell was somewhat intertwined in why I believed what I believe. So you see, oh, everything is looking back. Why we believe things. Deep down, deep rooted in many of us today is the fact that we don't want to go ahead somewhere. If there's a hell, we don't want to be there. Judge us say, I know, I don't want to be there. So we try to safeguard against that. But have you stopped to ask the question of this? Do we actually truly believe? No, that's so like a scripture in Genesis, when the devil asked him, so still, Eve said, you shall not surely die. So right away, the red flag will go after the Christian know it all, see, they see, I see them attack from the devil attack too. But me go ask question again. Do we actually die? Do we truly die? And how can you prove it? Because none of us have ever seen death and come back. So you might say, well, today But not go at the grave and come back. So that means when him gone, right? But you have other ways to look at the problem. You have other ways to look at it. I see this dimension as a cyclical one. So there's birth, there's death. It's a cycle of birth and rebirth. Birth and rebirth. So there's a cycle, a continuum. They have in some presentation, you see that thing like looking like the infinity symbol. So we come through this cycle, we come through the birth canal, go through life, or go down the age, or go to the grave, and then we come back out, return in and out, in and out. That's a perspective we can look at it from. Why is this important? Well, it dispels the fear of death. That's one. Two, it makes us realize that again we don't know everything. So to think that death is absolutely the answer and death is the stop is where everything stops is a limitation on even the same creator you believe in. Because the creator we believe in, the Christians say, the power over death and hell. Over death and hell. So what I tell you, if him said that in the book, so him have power over death and hell, simply means that if you're dead, and him say mother can rise again. So it's simple. I tell you, say, death is not the end. And therefore, if death is not the end of life, as we know it today, what if when we die we come back? Just a question to ponder. Oh, I'm not really doing the reincarnation. I'm not trying to push that on you. I'm just trying to show you that there are some perspectives that you might not have considered. Because again, remember the programming thing we talk about is either you have been programmed or you're reprogramming yourself. So I am on the latter end. I'm reprogramming my mind to think differently about one's close health beliefs. And so, do you fear hell? Again, if you fear hell, why? Well, the Bible talks about hell. Brimstone and fire, everlasting torment. The wicked shall be there and tormented day and night. Don't take my word for it. Anything I say to you, look it up for yourself. But did you know that the concept of hell is relative when you compare to the entire Bible? Did you know that the book of Revelation is relatively new? Who wrote these books? And why? Let's strip away the book of Revelation and talk about it. Would you still fear hell? Would you still fear death? If there was no book of Revelation, I want you to think about it seriously because there's nowhere in the Old Testament that talks about hell. The closest thing you get to some death there is Sheol, which means the grave. Sheol, the grave. No concept of hell is in the Old Testament. If you're listening to this and you want to challenge me, put it in the comments. Or if you have a number, send me a WhatsApp. Let's talk about it. But as far as I can remember, and I'm not reading the Bible in a good while, but what I remember, there is no teaching of hell in the Old Testament. But in the New Testament, in the book of Revelation, you have hell part of it. And because of the existence of hell in the New Testament, by the way, hell is not a concept only exclusive to the Bible alone. It's a very common concept that are found in other religions. But the concept is very similar in that it's a place of not so good things happening. Notice I keep on saying concept because this is what they are. In my view, this is what I think hell is. I think hell is a state of mind. I also think that heaven is a state of mind. It's like when them say, everybody say when them say, not every house is a home, because it's like you're living with your father, right? And the house written in the most, the rose rice and solar panel on top of the roof and AC on the house and floor web, that tile and it's like shot. Every day in a cuss and fight and say some nasty things to each other. Because I'm not living in our house, which is not a home, so it's like hell. It's like I'm not living in a hell. Bob Marley said, if you get up and you pray every day, you're saying prayers to the devils. I say it's a concept of hell again. Hell. So the idea of hell, the concept of hell is a state of being that causes you, in what I understand, to, for want of a better word, lose energy. Put it away there. But that's a vibrating at a lower frequency, but that sound too deep. So like I said, cause if you lose energy, so you feel drained. And when you argue or pushing somebody, drain energy. You know, really, really suck your dry, drain out every juice out there. You just make your mind. That's hell. Working at some workplace, and it's like hell. Hell if you get your money. We use that expression all the while. So the concept of heaven and hell is there as a way, in my view. And it's not that my view is about Trump's the view of what we believe. It's a shared view from my perspective, when you think, right? And you might argue, when you feel relevant, who are you? God word stand above, like God with you and every man alive. Fine. It's up to you, for those who believe in the Bible. But for those who can reprogram their thoughts, I am speaking to you. Hell is no different from you saying, go to hell. It's no different. It's just you saying, go chuck off, I don't want to be. Come out of space. You basically push a negative vibration. No one use the word vibration, but you basically say, so you don't want to deal with it. You block out that person. And so when I says this, when I say, because you fear hell and death, you're tied to your beliefs. Because you don't want to be in a situation where you end up dying and going to hell, right? Or you end up dying and not being sure if you're going to hell or heaven. So because you fear hell and death, you're tied to the belief, whatever it is that you believe. And so it is going to keep you in that cycle. In programming, we have a thing called loop. And the loop is a set of instructions that continue to repeat itself so long as a condition remains true. That is a loop. It's a set of instructions that continue to repeat itself so long as a condition remains true. So if I should put that in context with what we believe today, I could say, while people believe in what they believe, keep them believing it. So now we create what we call an indefinite loop, because we don't know when people don't stop believing. The condition is that while they still believe, so while I still believe in Christianity, keep on believing. It's as simple. The condition is to keep on going to church, keep on doing the things that are believers, keep on going to your Sabbath school or your Sunday school, or keep on doing other things, keep on doing it while they keep on believing. I could put it another way. So here's a condition. While a believer does not question his beliefs or his or her beliefs, he or she will keep on going through the motions. That's a loop. While a believer continues to not question his or her beliefs, he or she will continue doing what he already knows and believes. So in other words, why they not ask a question, they're gonna do what you always do. That's a loop. That's another indefinite loop. The condition is that why they not ask a question. So if you're not asking a question about your beliefs, you're gonna keep on doing this over and over. Every Sunday, every Saturday, every prayer meeting, every ceremony over there. You're asking no questions. It's a loop here, round and round and round and round. if you start to ask questions, which I have done, you'll come to some different alternatives, some different perspectives that you probably would not have considered before. And am I saying, before I even go ahead of myself, let me not say that. Let me go to the next question because we're almost finished. I hope this is not over. When belief is not enough. No, as I said before, we are going to believe because we don't know everything. We believe because we are humans, we have flaws, we have limitations, so we are going to believe it. But when is it not enough? In my view, based on my experience, based on what I've seen so far, I can say belief is not enough. Well, it is not making a very impactful change in the world. It is not really making an impactful change in the world. So what do I mean by that? Just about 2 years ago, I was going to church and then one man was going to shoot up people, kill people in church. This guy overseas him going to shoot up the school and kill a bunch of people. The, the idea of belief should be such that if you truly believe something, it is so powerful. You have that belief, it's so powerful. It is making waves and changing the lives. But the fact is, we all don't believe the same thing. So belief is not enough because we all don't believe the same thing. Because we all don't believe the same thing, we're going to have conflict. And because we're going to have conflict, because of the mass shootings, church gets shot up, people still are robbed, people still are shoot, people still are do this, people still do that. So it is not enough to believe when we realize that it is only impacting mostly, not only, mostly the individual who's actually believing. So the person who's believing, he or she is having that eureka moment, that, feeling joy and feel good and them do this and do that and them just feel, yeah, energetic and them feel like them are the word of greatness. But over there, so that they are going to kill somebody right now. Is another different program. You can't stop that. No care how much you pray, you can't stop what you do. Because your belief, your belief, and faith belief, I'm not going to do and believe. You see what I say? So belief is not enough for now make an impactful change. Because it only really truly impacting the lives of those that believe, not the non-believer. So if me believe in A and you believe in a B, me go do A and you go to B, so we're not going to do the same thing. No. Logically, that's what happen. And if A is good, B is bad, then the person who believes in A go to good, the person who believes in B go to bad. And so belief is not enough because we don't believe the same thing. And so we have to come to another place. Come to a place where we can reason and see where belief work and where it does not work and try to fill that gap. And how we do that? We do that through actually going and learning more about different cultures and learning about human behavior and psychology, yeah, which is something more go deeper into. Learning why people do what they do, learning about situations that cause ripple effects, learning about the whole issue of how the structure that we're born in and grow shape shape how the society is going on and how it operates based on certain norms that are created for us. And so we realize that some things occur how much you believe it now to change the slice and bread in a certain place. So you can believe all you want. You can't go in there to us and tell them, so, I believe in this, and so therefore you must accept on these terms. The judge can tell you, say, remove this person from my court, contempt of court. Hmm? And so what basically I say is, I hope that makes sense to some persons, somebody today, yeah, more man makes sense. Now try to read this, come I come down to the last point. Now try to read this, before you see people through the eyes of what you believe, see the people, see the person, do that, no? Before, when you look on me as a brother, or a son, or a nephew, or whoever it is, you look upon me as a church brother, or me look upon you. more, shouldn't we not be seeing a human being that have limitations, that go through the stages of life, just like the person, just like you. Me, I look on you and me, I say, you know, so a person, a human being like me. As a matter of fact, that's what I told one of my supervisor, where I work now, a couple of years ago. I tell him, so look, because only I deal with certain things when it comes to religion, because me, the passionate about my God, you know, me, I preach and I tell people I work, you know. And then some I preach and teach and some I shut me down, and I show so much I think like in sense. So you tell them one day to him face, so look, because when I look on him, I must say, a religious person first, I say, a human being, go through the struggles of life just like me. So I can't hate it. But I tell him, other than that, I hate him, but he grow my walk on because of him overly passionate for them believe to them be very destructive and disrespectful with it. And that's what some people do. They become so much of a fanatic that they put them belief about the person. And so they no longer can see the person, them see them must see, but them believe, them stay like this and them just say them look on the person and what them look on. If them have on the lens of religion or whatever religion lens them have on and I see the person through that. So they're not really seeing the person. Them just see a perception of the person through the eyes of religion, which is very skewed and limited. But anyway, not to wrap up now, because I feel like this video is getting too long, to get too long. So the last point I'm going to make is where to go from here. Well, I'm going in many different directions, but there's one main thing I want to leave with. Now, I've been saying it in other videos, so I'm going to put up this, we won't know it, right? And this, a long time I put it up on the channel. So if we decide to put it up on the channel, if I do decide to put it up on the channel, then you'll see it here. I'll obviously be watching. But wherever you go, whatever you do, whatever situation you find yourself in, whatever question they have, let knowledge be your path to true freedom. That is all I can say because there is nothing else. And knowledge I do, wait. If me don't know, me don't know, don't. My father would say, you're a fool to me, you don't know. So I'm a fool now, because I don't know a lot of things. I'm a fool to many things. But I'm going to learn and to understand and to know a lot of things. But I have so much not to know. Now you might argue, well, you can't know everything, you know, just sit there, but so you tell you know. You see that knowledge, we never say let it stop yourself. Can't stop at this knowledge. You still need belief, you still need faith for the work. But knowledge is the path because it's through knowledge you can understand why you believe what you believe. It's through knowledge you can understand what you believe. It's through knowledge you can understand if what you believe is true and if it makes sense. It's true knowledge. And true faith. Because faith don't require reason. So it can't be true faith. Right? It's true knowledge. That's why I say let knowledge. Whenever you hear me say that, because out of my experience, I realize that knowledge need my lack knowledge. So I had to go seeking knowledge. Let knowledge be your path to true freedom. That true freedom will come only when knowledge is paving that path, that it's journeying on. So when we don't know, when we know, when we don't know, we don't know. We need to seek out and find out and see if we can know. And if we know, we can really try to get some understanding about what we know. Then we can make some personal application to what we know. Then we can start to make that personal transformation. Make sense? Yeah. So this is my thing, the people, for those who want that. Way I do this now. You know, some people say me them greet me, them say I'm glad to see me. And I say, yeah, I'm glad to see you today. I'm there, I see me. But my head, my day in a church, my head space in a religion. You understand? Guys? To me, the creator bigger than all religion. We can't contain this concept of God we don't have our worship and pray to man-made thing. To me, that's my view. You don't have to accept it. Say it's man-made. It's a man-made idea. Make you out well organized, a structure, and seem to be well organized structure. There are many things about it that I will not disclose here. But people can really slow and question, like come and just go through the list of things on the top that I want to go. If they really sit down and go through them things with them good, they really sincerely try to find out, then they would understand what we are dealing with. But yeah, so I just wanted to make that be known that I'm still there, I'm still doing my thing. Yeah, one day my time will expire and the religion was the earth will continue saying yeah, I'll be forgotten like everybody else. But me just the one you said that to make people understand so that me try to be practical with the time you have here. And the time you have here should not be spent worshiping something outside the circle. The time you have here should be utilizing the things that the Creator did to uplift my life. Me feel like the best way to honor the Creator still, because I still believe there's a Creator, separate from apart from my religions. I still believe there's a Creator, but you know, think the Creator desire any form of worship because it does not make sense. We know Creator who's are powerful and who don't need anything to require worship of us. That is so petty, in my view. Me thinks that the best way to honor the Creator is to utilize the creative essence that you're born with, that you're infused with, and do great things. So if you can sing to the best of your ability, if you can dance, you're multi-talented, and so we honor the creator by expressing and experiencing this life. That's when you see. What am I if you say? When you see is better than what you see, right? No, but that's when I say right now, and that's when I feel like say, oh, the best thing to do. So whatever we can do with the time we have left on earth, we believe so we can just do it to honor the creator. Whatever good we can do, we do it. Yeah. I'm not trying to please nobody. You understand? Stop trying to please people. You understand? Because remember the story of the donkey and the son and his father. Remember the story there? Like here what them do? They do the foolishness. So who am I for trying to please somebody? Please myself first, though, because you can't please people. You cannot please people, brother and sister. So here are. That's it. Let knowledge be the path to true freedom, and you set yourself on the way of it. You're paving a way that no care will come at you, because you make knowledge be your path. Things will find a way to work itself out. And things we don't understand because you go through the thing like this and you weave through and you make knowledge guide you. You learn and you unlearn and you wrestle with facts and opinions and you wrestle with faith and reason. You wrestle with things that you get indoctrinated with and the things that you learn on your own. You wrestle with those things, those opposing ideas and philosophies, systems, and you come to a conclusion for yourself and say, okay, why? I don't know what out there, I don't know what the future will see me, I don't know what younger dead see me, I'm not going to make certain things. I'm not going to find myself no more to live by limiting beliefs. You know? So when I'm dead still, wherever I'm going to go stay, I go and live life to the fullest right now. You know? I mean, say you got the things where your grandmother would be ashamed of, or your mother and father would be ashamed of. Still, you know, it means you must be the best version of yourself. So every day when you get up on your rise, you try to be a better version of yesterday. And so you find yourself, literally, I try to do that. Every day I get up, I try to be a better version of myself. Sometimes consistent with it, sometimes I'm not consistent with it. But the point is, try to be the best version of yourself. Make that version be seen in a way that you don't see hype, but you don't see needy because you stand up in your own power. And that is all I'm going to say. So again, let knowledge be your path to true freedom. Peace.